What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we need to talk about yesterday's video about the EOS hero card. So they have continued to do testing, and there are some significant areas where this hero wasn't just overpowered, but was literally breaking the game. So between her healing, her 15 round increased burn damage, the amount of holy damage she was doing, and her dazzle effects, between all that and combats that were going longer than 15 rounds, she was near unkillable if you built her full tanky. Crazy setups were like high, you got A and B with crazy high attack. Her burn just kept. So for the sake of seeing everything, I'm just going to hide my face on this one because there's a lot of information to cover, and I want to be able to make sure you guys see everything that I am seeing. So number one, you'll notice in the Blazing Sun active, the burn damage has been cut in half, essentially from 600% attack down to 300%, and it goes from lasting 3 rounds to 2 rounds. So that is pretty significant because that is a big part of her damage, which is our burn. But one of the most problematic abilities she had was increasing the burn damage by 15% for 15 rounds. In combats that went past that, and she was actually getting like actives off almost every round, this was becoming a ridiculously high number. Actually, what is that? What is 15 times 15? 225 increased burn damage on top of the bonuses you're getting from Phoenix. So that was a severe problem right there. It is now only for 3 rounds, so it can only stack up to 45% instead of those ridiculously high numbers. There's also been a slight nerf to the way she restores HP. Instead of restoring self HP equal to 20% of max HP for 2 rounds, it is down to 15. Not a huge difference, but it is a little bit of a survivability change. And then there are some changes to her active after that. So nothing has changed with Sacred Sun, I don't believe, but if you use the active and you don't have Sacred Sun active, instead of only gaining 3 layers of Shining Light, you're now going to gain 5. Now that does mean there's a difference as well, because previously you would get holy damage for 10% per layer. Now it is 5%. So it makes it so it's easier to get her active off and to get Sacred Sun active, because of course you're getting more layers with the active ability. But then they also did change something down the bottom with how to activate it, so it kind of just feels like, I don't know, it's almost like a moot change. We'll go over it. Like I said, they changed a lot of stuff with this skill card here. Now, as far as the regular passives go, they are different in the fact that you're only getting that 40% holy damage instead of 100. Again, it must have been the fact that adding all that extra holy damage to her attacks just really compounded and made it ridiculously powerful. And then even the second passive here, so still hitting 3 enemies, still dealing 400% of attack damage, but reducing their precision by 25%. For 3 rounds, that stays the same. Attack used to be 20 for 3%. Now it is 10 for 2 rounds. So, I mean, the attack reduction must have been a huge issue as well. Getting 60% attack reduction out on 3 enemies could be very significant in game modes that went past 15 rounds and only had 3 enemies. So, yeah, that's another thing to remember. The last big effect here comes in the way of her Shining Light. So, previously you get 1 layer from Shining Light whenever an active is used by an ally. That has not changed, but now instead of stacking up 8 layers that increases holy damage by 80%, you have to stack up 12 layers to do 60% for 4 rounds, and then it will consume those layers to activate Sacred Sun. So it's gone from 8 to 12. So previously it took your active plus every other ally to use an active to get it. Now it is going to take an active plus 7 allies to use their active. So in reality, it's actually worse to get Sacred Sun. I thought they were just making it pretty equal, but it looks like it's going to be more difficult to activate Sacred Sun for. Now, I'm hoping they didn't go too far in one direction to get this quote-unquote pre-nerf done. I'm hoping she's still very strong, but it does sound like with all these changes here, especially on the active ability, because the active ability was the most problematic situation because she has her survivability built into that, her burn buff built into that, her damage, her CC effect with her dazzle, which they haven't touched the dazzle. The dazzle's still a 40% chance to all enemies inflicting for 2 rounds, so that's interesting. Reducing the attack, I mean, honestly, I was surprised the attack was 20% for 3 rounds because, I mean, if she was getting basics off and rotating between basic and active, you're still looking at somewhere in the ballpark of like the low 100s bonus burn damage from the active ability right here, on top of also reducing the attack, which is kind of crazy, but I don't know. I'm really hoping she's not bad now, because typically when I see games have an overpowered hero, they usually hit them way too hard with the nerf stick. This doesn't feel too bad. I wish they would have not touched this right here, like the arrival of the sun. I wish they would have left the same, so that it takes like basically 1 full round, you using an active plus all of your allies using an active, to then get it off in round 2. Now it's gonna be round 2 anyway, actually. You just don't want her to be the fastest on your team, which, if you have Transcendence heroes, chances are she won't be the fastest. So before you get your pitchforks going, let's get her tested out tonight on the live stream. We're actually going to test multiple versions. We're probably going to build 3 because, you know, even though we're getting away from light heroes on our Lights Army account, we still want to build 3 of every hero, and we can, I think, maybe even build 4. We gotta see though. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. A little bit of a breakdown between yesterday's hero skills versus today's. Do I wish they would not have done it? Absolutely, because it would have been cool to have a non-transcendence hero breaking the game just like Tix used to. But hey, we'll see what happens. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. See you guys next time.